Namaskar. Welcome to Hope channel from Hope Seva Trust. Hope is holistic outlook and positive expectation. Today I am going to talk about the high blood pressure and how to control it without taking medicine by natural way. First, let us understand what is high blood pressure. High blood pressure is when the pressure of the blood vessels get increased. Normally it is said about 80 by 120. So when it goes about 140 or 190, it is considered as high blood pressure. So why this high blood pressure? Mainly this happens due to the wrong lifestyle, bad food habits, smoking, diabetes, and physical inactivity and different kind of stress and tension. Particularly when we are physically inactive, take lot of fatty foods and salts, no fruits and vegetables. That leads to high BP. So high BP, what happens in the preliminary stage, there will be headache, dizziness or heaviness in the head, and there could be irritations or insomnia. These are the preliminary symptoms, but if it is not properly treated or controlled, we may have different kind of serious issues, may lead to stroke, heart attack, heart failure, kidney disease or eye disease. So basically what happens when there is high BP? Basically when it affects any particular organ, accordingly we get the problem. If it is in the brain, there will be stroke. If it is in the heart, there could be heart failure. If it affects the eye, there will be vision problem. If it affects kidney, there will be kidney problems. So what happens in high BP? Particularly it is due to the lack of elasticity of the blood vessels. So when there is lack of elasticity, particularly it is mainly due to the fat deposition. When fat is deposited inside, then the size of the inside of the blood vessels get reduced, or sometimes there is thickening of the artery walls and it loses the elasticity, and because of this the blood flow get more resistance and there will be higher blood pressure. So I am going to talk a few approach through which we can control the blood pressure at a certain level. When the blood pressure is not too much, like beyond 200 or 150, then it can be controlled by these natural processes by changing the lifestyle and food habit. So what is the lifestyle? First of all, we should have the stress control or stress-free life. So in life there could be problems. So either we should approach it properly in a holistic manner, we should try to solve it, and if we cannot solve it, we must accept it. So in this case, belief and faith in spirituality helps. When there is a belief of God, we can pray to God and leave it as it is. In that process, we can control our stress and tension. I am going to talk full details in an episode about how to control stress. Then we have the approach of yoga, in which I have already discussed in one of my videos. There are different aspects of yoga. One is the yoga asana, another is pranayam, another is meditation. These three things can help us in controlling the blood pressure. And another approach is food habit. So in modern days, we eat a lot of fatty foods and salty foods. So these things we have to reduce. Particularly foods rich with saturated fatty acid. So let us understand what is saturated fatty acid. In fat, there are fatty acid which has got different carbon chain, carbon link, different carbon link. So between two carbon, if there is no double bond, it is called saturated fatty acid. When there is one double bond, it is called monounsaturated. When there is more than one, it is called polyunsaturated. Now in general, the fats from the banaspati or milk fat and some of the meat like red meat, say mutton, chicken, beef, all this meat, all this thing has got saturated fatty acid. So if we already have higher BP, we have to reduce the fat from animal sources except fish and chicken. So fat from fish and chicken are more of unsaturated and they are not much problem. Then we should have plenty of fruits and vegetables. So in case of blood pressure, generally the sodium level will be high, and which is due to the salt rich food. So we have to reduce the foods rich in salt, and also we have to reduce the added salt in most of the foods. And secondly, when we take more amount of fruits and vegetables, automatically it will have more potassium. So potassium salt is very useful. Even if we take regularly coconut water, those who has got higher BP, if we take regular coconut water, that will give potassium. Now we can try to have magnesium and calcium. Calcium is there in milk origin foods, so we can take milk and milk products with low fat, then there is no problem. We should take more amount of whole grains, cereals, jowar, bajra, oats, and we should avoid the refined flour. All kind of refined flour or refined food and processed food we have to reduce. We have to reduce the snacks, chips, namkeen. All these things are rich in salt. We should reduce biscuits. Biscuit has got refined maida and sugar. So sugar containing food we have to reduce. And we have to reduce different kind of sweets also. We can take garlic. Garlic is having a component called allicin, which has got very good effect on relaxing the blood vessels, and thereby it can help reducing the blood pressure. Another thing is omega-3 fatty acid. This is also a unsaturated fatty acid in which some particular place there is double bond. That's why it is called omega-3 fatty acid. It is available like fatty fish, seafoods, and also in some vegetable origin like flaxseed or chia seed or pumpkin seed. So different kind of all these seeds are good source of omega-3 fatty acids. There are two different chemical name, that is EPA and DHA. EPA is eicosapentaenoic pentaenoic acid and DHA is docosahexaenoic acid. Next one, we can take coenzyme Q10. Coenzyme Q10 has got very good value for reducing the BP. This is again present in fresh fish, spinach, broccoli, peanut, germinated wheats, whole grains. So Q10 is very useful. Further, we can reduce the fat from animal origin and we can take oils from vegetable origin, like fat from coconut oil and from milk are mostly saturated fatty acid, which should be reduced. Whereas vegetable oil like sunflower oil, mustard oil, they are good for heart. Even soybean oil, fish oil, they are also healthy for our heart. Olive oil, groundnut oil, these are also good. Whereas there is one fat which is called trans fatty acid. Trans fatty acid is actually produced due to the processing, particularly in bakery items or during cooking at high temperature. The fatty acid get converted to trans fatty acid. It is actually a structural change. Most of the fat generally will be in the cis form. It's a biochemical structure. But due to processing, it get converted to a different structure called trans fatty acids, which are not at all good for health, and that causes problem for the heart or blood pressure. Another thing like the banaspati, which is also a processed fat, where the fat is converted or hydrogenated. That's why they are called hydrogenated vegetable oil. These are also not good for heart. Now I will go to yoga, pranayam and meditation. In yoga, there are asanas like Savasana, Gomukhasana, and like Vajrasana and Padmasana, Siddhasana. These are very common. And there is another asana which is very useful for controlling the blood pressure, that is called Tarasana. Tarasana is, other words we can call it like cup muscle pumping, CMP. So in our lower leg, back side we have the major muscle, which is actually called as gastrocnemius muscle. So this muscle, if we can contract and relax, that is like a pumping. So this muscle is considered as second heart. So if we do a special exercise for this muscle, like we can stand and continuously we can go up and down without touching the heel. So we can push up the heel and come down again. So that will cause contraction and relaxation and acts like a pump that gives a support and relief to heart, and it is very useful for reducing the BP. I personally have experienced it. Then there is pranayama. So there are few pranayama which are commonly practiced, like Anulom Vilom, which can be done in a slow rate. Anulom Vilom can be done in a slow rate in reducing the BP, or Vramari, another pranayam which you can learn from other videos. These two are useful, but I am going to tell another pranayam which is very useful, that is called left nostril breathing. Actually, it has been observed by our yogic culture old days that those who has got left brain is more active. They are more hyperactive in everything and they get higher blood pressure. So to control, they found the techniques like when we take the normally breathing, most of the time one side of the nostril remains inactive, left or right. So when we take breathing from left nostril, it acts more on the right brain, and when we take it from the right side, it is more active on the left brain. So the people having higher BP are expected to have higher activity in the left brain. So our motto is to reduce that. So we can do it by practicing pranayama, that is to take the inhalation through left side and exhalation through right side. Continuously 5-10 minutes we can do daily, anytime in the morning, afternoon or evening, especially during just before sleep. I will just show how to do it, like taking. So this is the left nostril breathing. We can do it anytime, even before sleep, in the bed also. This will help in reducing the activity of left brain, and it will activate more the right brain, and thereby it can help in reducing the blood pressure. This is very useful. In addition, the meditation. We all know meditation has got a very good role in maintaining our health, in controlling our many physiological functions, including blood pressure. Simply if we do a meditation with Om, simply if we do meditation with Om, it will calm the body, it will have very good impact on our physiology, and it helps in reducing the blood pressure. So this is all together briefly a package of practices, especially this pranayama I told, left nostril breathing and the cup muscle pump. These two I have followed, and I have also followed the dietary changes I have mentioned. All together, if we follow it, the blood pressure can be controlled. I myself had BP beyond 150 and 100. I have been taking tablet, but by following all this slowly I could reduce the dose, and later I have completely stopped the tablets and my BP is perfectly normal. So hope all this will be useful. Those who have got BP below 200/150, they can try all this, whereas those who has got very high, definitely they should go for medical support and tablets and other recommendations. So hope this will be useful. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.